Welcome, 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 confessors. Thank you for joining us and guests. We are here to talk with the lovely Carmen Felder, who I have been wanting to have on this channel for quite a while. And I wish I was having her on a different circumstance, but here we are nonetheless. So please, if you are in the chat, please come in, like the video, and please be respectful. And we are going to talk about things, and we are going to get to the bottom of things and to the other side of it, okay? So allow me to bring her on. Hello, Miss Carmen. How are you, beautiful?
I'm good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. How are you doing?
Lovely. Just got from the gym. So, you got to work out, keep it tight and right. You know what I'm saying?
As you do, of course. You have just an amazing physique, and I've always loved you. You are always a woman crush Wednesday when it ain't even Wednesday, honey. So, honey, how did we get here? Let's just jump right into it because what are we waiting for? How did we get here and why are we here? Because you are quite the topic this season so far on Love and Marriage DC. And though we have seen a little bit of you, we have heard more about you than we have seen of you. And I'm wondering, why is that? So I want to know, how did we get here? And I want to be able to lay out a timeline so we can be able to follow you as we go through this. So the best of your knowledge with dates, can you lay out a timeline between when you and Donovan broke up to how you became a storyline for this season?
You know what? I'm trying to think of the timeline myself. People brought up the timeline and I'm like, okay, yeah. I think the timeline really got brought up is because Joy was in Mexico for a while. And during that time, they saw Clifton and I hanging out. So let's go back. Everyone knows that I was on Ready to Love Potomac. And at the end of that series, I left with Donovan, and Clifton and Joy left together. We were the two couples that left together and started relationships. Donovan and I dated for several months, and then we had planned a group trip. So where you start seeing me with Joy and Clifton. And I believe, was Joy here at that time? She might have went back, but we were planning a group trip, a couples trip, right? And right before that, Donovan was like, deuces, no, I'm not doing this, right? So I felt like, okay, well, that meant that I'm not going either. But Joy and Clifton were like, screw him. You know what? You're not going to sit at home. Come with us. We're still going on this road trip. So I was like, okay, cool. So that's where you first started seeing Joy, Clifton, and I together. That was the first time you're like, and I think we heard the murmurs of, why is Carmen there? Well, I didn't want to put my business out there. I wasn't trying to totally dump on Donovan, right? Because I'm going to look like a scorned woman, right? And they weren't either. And they were like, we all were like, just whatever. It is what it is, right? Who cares what you think? We never thought it was going to continue, right?
Okay.
So Joy went back to Mexico, from what I remember, and Clifton and Joy still were together. Great relationship. They were visiting each other back and forth. Joy would come here, Clifton would go to Mexico. And during that time, I started helping them as a friend, and then PR. I do PR and brand management. I've been working with athletes, celebrities, all kinds of companies for years. So we had saw Love and Marriage, and they were like, I said, you guys should be on there. So behind the scenes, I am going to promote you guys, hashtag Carlos King, and put you in the right rooms when Joy would come back. And then while Joy was gone, I would take Clifton different venues, meet different people. So that's where you saw me and Clifton together. I was his PR. And then when she came back, I still was there because guess what? Who's taking the pictures? Who's filming it? Carmen, right? But no one knows that. So they're like, why is Carmen always with them? Well, that's how they got on Love and Marriage. I'm taking the video. There's probably one that was really popular that they were dancing at one of Joy's performances. They had yellow on, and I'm taking the video. I took that, right? So it showed their love story, right? And then afterwards, we would sit down and we would take our own pictures and videos, and people are like, something's weird. Well, we're not going to announce that we're trying to prep them for Love and Marriage. We're not going to announce that, you know? So we just was like, whatever. And then in between that time, Joy came back. And shortly after that, we're putting them in the rooms. We're making sure they know the characters of Love and Marriage. And it worked, you know? So that's how the whatever 3 people together came about. Was really, we had a plan. There was behind the scenes things that we were doing that no one knew. And so eventually I actually did a contract with Clifton, and Clifton was my sole client. Joy was not. But of course,
did Joy know about this?
That was Joy's choice.
Okay.
It wasn't my choice. So it's supposed to be them coming on together. I did it pro bono and also as a friend to get them on there.
Yes.
For example, Clifton had said, I want to propose to Joy. I want something unique, something special. So I got them on Fox 5 so he could propose to her on national TV. So I did a lot of stuff with him, and he was paying me. It was a real position. And Joy was like, I can't afford that right now. And I said, okay. But still, it's kind of hard. You just can't be like, no, you know, because they're married. Yeah. So I still would be like, here, there's some things that y'all can go to. And there's some things that Clifton would do in his beard oil and so forth. So that's where you would see us together. Once again, he was my client. So I'm going to take him here and I'm going to show him how to do this. And I'm going to introduce him to these people. It wasn't trying to push Joy away. And then there were some times that, because we were all cool with each other, that me and Clifton, so you see a lot of those clips, the clips that you just saw Irena talking about?
Yes, on this past episode. Yes.
Yeah. So Clifton and I were waiting on Joy to finish a performance, or she was filming with maybe Ashley or Irena. So Clifton and I would be like, yo, let's go to the bar. Let's get some drinks. And we would joke. We had a really good friendship. So we would laugh and joke. Joy knew about it. That's why when she's talking, she's like, what? I was there. I was probably around the corner. I was on stage or whatever it was. It was never anything to be worried about.
There you go. Okay. So now here we are where it's all being played out. So here's the thing. We see that Irena has a lot to say also. Why do you think that is? Because she seems to be more concerned than Joy.
A couple of things. I think Irena feels she's seasoned, she's older, she's experienced, and she feels that she is assisting or helping Joy. However, it's kind of weird. I am the one who knew Joy first. It would be different if Joy was like, hey, sis, I'm feeling a certain way. What do you think? That's not what happened. When we see it unwind, Irena had some previous trauma and issues in her own marriage, right? That were not resolved. So how are you going to go tell another woman how to resolve a situation that ain't a situation, right?
Correct.
And then when her husband said, stop, I talked to Clifton. He says it's this, and that. She kept going on. She wants someone to say, you're right. You are the main one that knows everything. You're the God of gods. Her husband didn't. And her husband called her a hypocrite, which says a lot, right? So
that does.
I'm like, how are you going to have a situation similar and never completed or tied it up, right? But you see someone else. So I felt like she was triggered. Number one. Number two, first of all, number one is she need to mind her damn business. That's number one. Okay. Worry about your business. Make sure, if anything, you know, when you go through stuff, you could say, listen, I went through this, sis, and I didn't resolve it correctly. So here's some steps that maybe you can resolve yours correctly. But first of all, you have to decide if it's a problem, right? So you're going to her. At the same time, she makes a statement like, I love Carmen. I've been to parties, hung out with her. Joy's like, have you ever seen Carmen inappropriate with Clifton? No. So there's no evidence. I'm a Black woman, right? A Black businesswoman, and you have the audacity to push a narrative that you have no evidence or clues about. That I can't stand.
I understand.
So I think it was power trip. She wants Joy to come under her wing, right? That's number one. Number two is she wasn't minding her business. Okay. And number three, maybe she didn't have nothing to do. She just wanted to have a storyline. So I'm going to jump on this storyline. I'm going to talk to everybody. And then the issue that I have is, why didn't you pick up the phone and call me? Be a woman.
So you two have never spoken one-on-one. So the first time you've heard about her having a problem is on camera?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So I had heard about some things talking and rumbling, and hey, I was over and we were talking about this, and I was like, why my name keep getting brought up? So I called Irena. Hey, girl. Hey, what's going on? Why are you bringing up my name? And why would you question me? You've seen me and Clifton together when Joy wasn't here. I have pictures of me, her, and Jamie and Clifton at events. Have you ever seen anything inappropriate? She says, no. I said, okay. So why would you project this? And she said, I'm just trying to help. Help in what way? She says, well, it's just as a married woman, I guess, because she's talking to me because I'm not currently married, right? I would just think that she has to be careful. Careful for who? I haven't done anything. She was like, no, I know, but it just didn't make sense. But I did call her, because I don't play that. If you can say something behind my back, you should be able to say it to my face.
Exactly. Understood. So how do you think, so when she's talking, when we see the scene of her talking to Joy and trying to tell her that she's seen all of these, what do you think her intentions is? Like, what do you actually think could happen? Because Joy is a grown-ass woman. She makes her own decision. So do you think Irena is just projecting from her standpoint, or is she really concerned about Joy?
For some reason, I feel like she looks at Joy as naive, right?
How so?
Like she was oblivious from this. How do you think, Irena, that you saw the videos and Joy didn't see it? Some of the videos, Clifton was tagged. We were collaborating on it. So you think that Joy didn't see it? So were you informing her? Did you see us on the street and say, oh, I got to go back and tell? It was on the internet. Why do you think you would be informing Joy when her husband was tagged, or Joy was in the room or across the room? Do you think Joy is just naive and doesn't watch the internet? So I would have to say that's messy. There's no way that she thought that Joy had no clue what her husband was doing and so forth. And secondly, get some business, because if you get your own business, you ain't got to be in my business, ma'am. If you saying I've been watching Carmen, basically that's what she's saying. And I saw, now mind you, these videos weren't like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. These videos was like 1 week, then 2 weeks later.
Yes, it was sporadic through.
Right. So that means you've been watching a while. Now, mind you, what she did say, and I will clarify this, she was like, and people would ask, where's Joy? Where's Joy? Where's Joy? And I just don't think that's right. Well, if I have 100 comments and 30 of them is where Joy is, I'm not going to keep going to my phone and saying she was across the street. She was beside me. She was at home. I don't have time for that. I barely respond to my comments now. I'm going to be honest. Right. I need to do better. So at some point, after an hour or something, I'm like, okay, I got work to do. So now I'm being crucified because I didn't sit there and respond to every comment and give that energy and say, she was this place, because I know who I am. So I don't feel like she was doing her a favor when she said that.
Understood. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the boxing scene where we see all the men talking with Clifton and everyone has an opinion, absolutely has an opinion. Do you feel Clifton could have said anything different? Because from what I'm seeing and what the big picture is missing is your man. We know that you have one. You've been with him for over a year, a long time. You're very much in love. He don't move here for you. Why isn't anyone just saying Carmen has a man? Like, why is this an issue? Like, why? And another question, when did Irena find out that you finally had a man? Like, does she know at this point that you do have one?
Okay, so first of all, I was very disappointed in that scene. Clifton had told me that they had a brief conversation. Well, that wasn't a brief conversation to me. That was a little bit longer than brief. And so he minimized it. And I was like, he was like, oh, they asked me and I told him it's not like that. Well, when I saw the scene, it was a whole scene and it was a lot about Carmen. And one thing I didn't like that Jamie implied that I was Clifton's ex. I have never, what you would say, dated Clifton. I'm not an ex. Ready to Love put us on one date and that was it. There's no dating Clifton. That's number one. So when you put that out there, you have to be very careful. I was never Clifton's ex. That's right. Number one. Number two is I didn't like how Clifton was kind of ha 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 ha. They're like, yeah, you the man, yeah. Oh, my wife wouldn't like that. He. No, no, sir. No, stop it. Stop it right there. Now, hold on. That's my friend. That's my business partner. That's my business associate. There's nothing going on. Not what he said was, well, she's also friends with Joy. He never shut it down completely. Now, also, like you said, how about add one huge factor? Carmen has a man. Because if you add that factor, it will dead, because how people are looking at it is, she thirsty. She need to get her own man. Get your own man, Carmen. I've seen the comments. Get your own man. Stop trying to take somebody else's man. Excuse me, ma'am. I have a man. I hadn't put it out there at first because after the whole Donovan situation, I didn't want nobody in my business. I wanted to be careful and make sure I can actually have a great relationship before I say, hey, this is my man. Yes. Clifton, Joy, Irena, Jamie have all met my man. We went to Jamie's birthday party. He's had drinks. We've been to several events with Jamie. Had drinks. My boyfriend has brought Jamie drinks, hugs. Hey, what's up, Irena? All that. Clifton, we go on a whole trip for numerous days, like 7 days, with my man, Joy and Clifton. So I'm like sitting here watching this. I'm like, why don't you just say, Carmen's a great friend. We work together, but she has a man and she's happy with her man. So that would have ended it all. It makes me think that they played me. They played me for this storyline, this moment. And if they had said, I have a man, it would have stopped the whole thirsty. You trying to take somebody else's man, and you didn't even have to say his name. All you had to say is she got a man and she happy, and they would have been like, oh, okay. Went on to the next thing. Irena, why didn't you say that? I just don't understand why, because that makes me look like a seductive woman trying to take somebody's man when that's not the truth. So that really makes me feel like, wow, will people do anything for a scene or for fame? Because they all know it's not true.
Absolutely. Now, I know Carlos has had to have seen all of this going on. Has Carlos reached out to you to even ask if you want to come on Talk with Reality King or anything to set your side? Because he'll tag others, but I don't ever see him tagging you. I never see you tag. And I'm like,
well, I'm not a part of main cast. That's number
it
one.
shouldn't even matter though.
But it seemed like I'm part of the main cast is the way they put me on there, right? Yeah. I'm not part of main cast. And I think maybe also he could be worried about two things. One is I keep it real and I tell the truth. And most of the time I'm gonna give you a receipt. If you try to play me, I'll be like, well, hold on, let me just find it for you. Okay. Or I have a witness that can come on and tell the truth. Or number two is if he tags me, then guess what? They're gonna see that I have a boyfriend. And that might stop the thoughts because right now they're like, ooh, what's going to happen with Carmen and Clifton and Joy? And I'm like, there is no Carmen, Clifton, and Joy.
Yes. Yes. So how do you think Carmen, how do you think Joy and Clifton feel? How do they react to the whole throuple thing when it first came out? Because
they knew.
I see, because when we see the scene with Joy and Clifton just talking, she seemed to have a little moment about you when he brought up the fact of you helping with the whole business and the PR thing and getting things up. So what do you think that was about on her side?
Honestly, I feel in this situation, I actually resonate and feel for Joy now that I'm seeing it. When I'm in it, I didn't know a lot of behind the scenes. Now I can see it on a big screen and I'm like, okay. I don't think it was right. First of all, Clifton called me for the meeting. He could have brought Joy, right? So people are coming at me, well, why wasn't Joy there? This and that. Well, why didn't Clifton tell her to get in the car and come? Number two is Joy did the website. Joy did the graphics for the design. She had every right to chime in and say things. Okay. Absolutely. Then I would feel a certain way as a wife if I done the graphics, the website, then help do whatever. And then you're going to come and tell me, you're going to go give it to somebody else. And then you're going to say, well, Carmen said this should have been done. And she's going to take over. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Carmen is, we like, you're my client. You asked me for my advice. I'm telling you, hey, this has to be done because it can take between 6 to 18 months to complete. Mm-hmm. You don't want to get sued or someone take your trademark before you get it. And then they could try to get you and say, well, you got to buy it back from me. There's a lot of scenarios that could happen. So I'm like, this has to get done. And I even said, Joy got a lot of going on, as a partner, a spouse, sometimes we put stuff to the side. It's not intentional, but it still has to get done. So push it over to me. Now, the audience can look and say, look at her. She's stepping in, meddling. No. I'm getting paid. Okay. That's my client. He asked me questions. I told him. Joy could have been there. She had every right to be there if she has been doing stuff behind the scenes. And it can be very hurtful as a wife that you are telling another woman that you step aside, Carmen coming in, right? I understand how that could feel. And once I saw it, I was like, okay, so you put Joy in a situation and he could have just said, yo, you tripping, baby. I love you, but I need to get this done. Let me give Carmen, okay? I'm going to put y'all on a group text, right? It's how you present it, not Carmen's taking over, move on out the way. So I feel like she just was like, okay. But when I saw her in the confessions, it was like, well, Carmen's a doer, so I'm going to go ahead and let her do it. And then she throws a throuple. That's why we have a throuple. So you're implying I did my part of the throuple. Now Carmen gonna do her. No. Don't imply nothing, baby. No. Yeah, don't do that. And it was like a dig, but I think she was hurt.
Yes, that's where I feel that came from. That's where I feel that came from. So so could it have been, it was Joy, because we know Joy's very busy woman singing, doing that voice that she does so well. Like, is Joy busy at the moment? Does she have time to do this? Was it something that he felt that she wasn't able to do because she had other obligations? Do you think he meant well where he was coming from and it just came out wrong?
No, I think he didn't want to say what he needed to say. He didn't want to say, you taking too long. He wanted to put on Carmen. Carmen said this should have been done. Because then it's not him, it's Carmen, right? Which I did say it needed to be done, but I work for you. I'm supposed to tell you what needs to be done. It wasn't against Joy, but when you put it in that way, it says Carmen's checking you. And nobody wants to get checked by another woman coming from her husband.
Correct.
Now, mind you, what no one knows is he had said Joy started it. She had never started it. So that's where you have me. So when I would go in, I'm like, I can't, do you have the email, the documentation, confirmation? No, it never got started. So of course, me as a businesswoman, I'm like, yo, you got to get this started. You already promoting it. It's going, they had a big warning. It could take up to 18 months. And, that's a long time. And somebody can get whiff of it. And all they got to do is fill out the information. And now somebody else owns your trademark and your business.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay. So here's this. So everyone seems to have a problem with you and Clifton's relationship. You guys have a very interesting relationship that we see. Some people like to put on it's more. What is it about you and Clifton? And it's so fun. But what is it about you and Clifton's relationship that makes it so special that other people just don't get?
I don't know. When you in it, you don't see it. Once me and Clifton became friends, I was happy for him and Joy. And we just would laugh and talk about crazy stuff, anything, we would just, it was like brother and sister, right? And so we would giggle and laugh. And even in the videos that are not, I took them down. You see us making up jokes, just stupid jokes. I think one time he had a wig on.
I was just about to bring that up.
We had went to the pink party that Ashley did. Once again, Joy she stayed to film more at the pink party, and I left and Clifton left, and we wanted to wait for Joy. So we went to a bar across the street waiting for Joy. He still had the wig on. Yeah. So we recording, and I don't even know where it came out of it. We were talking about he a pimp and I'm the hoe. Okay. It's just, and I was like, my feet hurt. And he was like, well, I don't care. It was just fun. And there were a lot of people who actually enjoyed those things. We were waiting for Joy. Obviously, we're not doing anything. And it just rubbed people the wrong way that we could laugh. And because we were on another show about dating, it just was like, I think I have this stigmata that people are thinking, oh, she's attractive. She's always trying to get somebody's man. I have worked with tons of men, successful, attractive men. Okay. I do not need to do that. I like money. Business comes first. Okay. I don't need to have my client, someone in my field that I'm going to go after. That's just not my thing. I'm an only child, grew up single mom, military, played basketball, track. I'm used to being around guys because I don't have the foolery of what you trying to be cute. Men will just to the point. They're very protective, make sure you get home okay, make sure all that. And so they just, I guess we were in it. And because we enjoyed our friendship so much, we didn't care. And we never thought it was going to go to the limit of people really thinking there was something going on, because when we were out, there was never anything that you could think of. I will say me and Clifton, me and Joy, me and Clifton have never had any sexual relations. Me and Joy have never had any sexual relations. Me, Clifton, and Joy have never had sexual relations at all. Not
All
a,
three. You hear
not,
all three, y'all. All three. Nothing. Nothing.
nothing.
Wow. Okay, so in the timeline, where do you and your boyfriend get together?
Okay, so I met my boyfriend in December. What is this? 2022, right, babe? 2022. And I had got off of Ready to Love and I was doing my own thing. And I said, let me try some online dating. Well, I tried Facebook dating, right? And so I'm good on there. I'm like, do. And I messed up on the distance. I probably thought it was 25 miles, but it was 250 miles. I don't know. Anyway, I see this cutie patootie. I'm like, Aaron. Right. I'm like, who is that? So we matched and we started talking. Then we went from there. We were very, we were very like, went from there to Instagram. Probably we both stalked each other's pages. You know how we do, ladies. We stalked on my page. Let me see what.
And
then we were talking, vibing out. And when he said where he lived, I'm like, where is that at? And he was like, New York. I'm like, why? I'm like, so I was like, okay, well, I still liked him. So I was like, okay. So we still got to know each other. I didn't even tell him about what I did, anything. I just was like, I'm regular Carmen, right? And so he came to visit. I went to go see him. We went on a vacation with Joy and Clifton. You'll see that coming up soon. And we dated and fell in love. And I was like, well, I don't want my man away from me. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But you can't push it. But I'm like, hint, hint.
Wink,
and so almost hitting a year, probably I think it was in October, he moved up here. So now my man's here. So we've been together since December 2022. And we've been together ever since. So all during this time, he was there.
He was there.
Majority of the time, because, well, it's like, I think they started doing the show or whatever, but majority of it, he was there when I was filming. Let's put it like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where is this mystery man? Because he is the missing piece of the puzzle. And I would love for everyone to know that he is real. He actually does exist. Where is he? Can we meet him?
Yeah, come on over, baby.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, boyfriend. Now, what is your name?
My name's Ray.
What's up, Ray? How you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good.
Now, I just want to know, how did you snatch up our girl? What was it about her that you like, yep, this is the one I want?
Well, I mean, like she said, we met on Facebook, and I was, just browsing, and I saw she was beautiful. I didn't know much about her. So, but every day I used to message her, get to know her more. And she said she's in DC. I was like, I'm gonna come out there, and I kept on bothering her. I didn't stop until she gave me a chance. Like, I'm gonna get you at some point.
Okay.
So she finally gave me a shot. She said, come out here, and she came all the way to DC, and I came to meet her, and it's been great ever since.
Oh my goodness! So how long have we been together at this point now?
Little over a year.
Little over a year. I saw the anniversary clip. I actually just posted it and tagged Jai in it earlier.
Thank you.
So when you met Carmen, were you familiar with Ready to Love and Love and Marriage DC and knew she had been on that at all?
No, I didn't even know about the OWN network or anything. So I didn't know any of that. I got to meet the real Carmen, and I'm glad it went that way because I got to know who she was. She has so many other great things she's done, for the community. all the great things she does for the foundation. That's the person I got to meet, and I'm thankful to meet it that way because I got to know internally who Carmen is.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what is your take on all of this that's going on right now? Because why are you not being mentioned, and why is all this going on? Because I feel if you were mentioned, a lot could be just deaded right there. So, I guess my question is, when you first got with Carmen, how was it you seeing the dynamic between her, Joy, and Clifton? Were you strange about it like people on the outside were seeing?
Well, I mean, as a man, I'm naturally jealous anyway. So I'm just like, I'm protective. I'm like, nah, I don't want to. But I will say that throughout the time, I met Clifton in the beginning. I mean, the first, when I met I met Clifton day one. So
it's funny. Clifton came for a meeting with me.
Yeah, and Warren, and that's how I met them.
The first day I met Ray, Clifton met me there.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
So I knew Clifton for a while, and to be real, I mean, I didn't have an issue, and that's because Carmen made it very comfortable for me. She's very transparent. Phone, no way. She has it on speakerphone when she's talking to Clifton. They had they had a unique friendship, and I never felt uncomfortable. I mean, if I did, she made it very comfortable for me. Her phone's always up. She always has it on speakerphone. She shows me everything she's doing. She never made me feel weird. She makes me feel very comfortable. So as long as I felt comfortable, I was good.
That's what's up. So we know that we get to see you guys coming up very soon, and I can't wait to see that and get to know more about y'all. So, I mean, first of all, I have to ask you, Carmen, if you were ever asked, would you become a cast member on the show?
I don't know. Depending on how the season is, I feel like the audience is going to want to know what's next, right? I think the main people involved have to tell the story, because if not, you're not going to get the real story, right?
Absolutely.
And based on right now, it's like my name is being put out there. I'm going to defend myself to the end, and it's going to be truthful. Right now, I see that the cast is divided. And some people are like, well, I'm not going to film with that. Business-wise, that don't make sense. Nobody wants to see Irena, Jamie, Joy, Clifton have a kumbaya brunch dinner. Like, you can't take Ashley away. I'm just saying business. You can't take Winter away. It just not going to work out. Once they see one little bit, they're going to be like, I'm bored, right? Who is going to keep up the drama? There has to be a villain in this. There has to be villains. There has to be people who fight and whatever. So for you to want the show to come on, for you to want to be a part of the show, you have to do the work. And that means being uncomfortable. So I think people have to really be honest and say, okay, are you willing to walk away? Because there can't be a show with just kumbaya and we're going to just have brunch and toast. There's got to be drama. And they're thinking, no, we don't want to film with Sherelle Black, whoever it is. And it's just absurd.
It is. So if you did come on, Ray, would you be coming on to have her back? Would you be willing?
I mean, I got her back, period. So, I mean, I'm standing 10 toes down for her. I mean, like I said, she makes me feel great. I feel very comfortable. And I mean, with all the stuff going on, I'm still 10 toes down. She makes me feel protected in every way. So I'm always going to be there for her regardless. So
I love that.
They all know that.
I mean, the show is called Love and Marriage. So, I mean, it'd be fun to, see what's next for you two and what's coming on, because y'all look so great together, so in love. Y'all compliment each other very well, just for what I see. And I can't wait to see more that we see coming up. I mean, are you allowed to say what we'll be seeing you next on yet?
I think the internet probably already knows.
We know.
And I think it'll be refreshing because it will be fun times, right?
Yes.
So we're going to be laying in the sun, jet skiing, and having a great time. And hopefully our audience will watch that and see a different dynamic. And it probably is going to take away but explain some things, because it's probably going to be a little confusing to them. Like, well, how did that? Why didn't you say this? Did you know him? Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be like, so I think, if it comes down to it, some people need to be honest about the situation. People may not like each other right now. They may not be happy with each other, but being honest is fair. That's the reality. I wish everyone the best, but don't try me.
There you go. Okay. I just want to ask y'all a couple of fun questions before I let y'all go. What is y'all favorite place to go to spend time with each other outside of the house? Where have y'all frequent the most?
Oh man, that's a hard question because I like the house. So that's hard for me. I like being in the house. That outside noise, I love just laying in the house and watching movies all day.
So you guys are homebodies?
I'm a homebody. She's more, but I like being home.
I like being home too. Probably it's gonna be weird. You know what it is, right?
What space are you gonna say? Go ahead. I don't know.
It's gonna be the gym.
Oh yeah. We're there every day.
We left the gym to get home. Like, hold on, let me take a shower. I gotta get on this. Definitely the gym, and anywhere that has good food and good music. So no one particular place. Yeah.
Well, Ray, you know what you're going to have to do then. That means when you get your new house, you're going to make sure that there's a room where you can build her a gym and keep her home a little bit more.
Oh, we have a
built-in gym.
We have a gym here, but it's like something about being there. It's like we're very competitive. So we like to see other people and go against everybody.
We're like, you got 2 plates on? We put 4 plates on.
So we have to be around that energy. We like to compete.
Well, y'all can own a gym then. There y'all go. Would y'all ever go into business together? Ray, what do you do? I can ask.
Okay, I have a foundation nonprofit where we build self-esteem for children. We teach them how to model, teach them how to fashion and stuff like that. So I teach kids from the age of 5 to like 25 about modeling and keeping their heads up high and stuff like that. So.
Oh, and he's good with kids. Okay, Carmen, I see what you did here. Girl. Okay, so any special plans for the special day coming up in a couple days?
Oh, Valentine's. Well, I can't tell that. I wouldn't be a surprise.
Is it a surprise? Oh, I love a good surprise.
Yeah, you gotta keep something.
I can't wait to see the post. I'll be looking out for it.
There it is. They'll be out there.
Yeah, we try to enjoy every moment. TV life is not easy, and I must say, Ray has been super supportive. I mean, it's very hard for any man, your husband, your boyfriend, whoever, to see some of the things going on and whatever. So he's been very supportive. And sometimes I'm like, and he's like, baby, it's okay. It's all right. You're good, And so really with dealing with stuff like that, we try to spend time together in unique ways, watch movies, joke around and just enjoy actual moments. It doesn't have to cost money. It's just moments of fun and non-haters. Because I don't know where you're from. Where are you at?
Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, we in DC, you know that DMV, and I'm gonna tell you, the people around here, they are some.
I think it helps a lot. We drink a lot of wine.
Yeah.
So that helps us get through the day.
I got him on wine.
You got me on some wine. So thank God, we drink a lot of wine to get through the day. So it's good. It's good. That's why I like
Ray, was it a hard transition for you from New York to DC?
Oh, it still is. It's very hard. It's very hard. It's the culture
Is
shock.
there, what do you miss? Do you miss anything about New York, or are you satisfied in everything there in DC?
Well, being honest, no, I don't miss a lot of New York. Because we have corner stores, the culture, we got a lot of, I'm part Jamaican, so I think Jamaican food, there's not a lot of Jamaican food out here. Dominicans, I'm used to you can go to a corner store at like 2, 3 in the morning and see and get some food. Here, it's not
done
happening.
at 10. It's done at 10.
Yeah,
They're like, we go.
it's a little different. I mean, it's a lot different, but I'm adjusting.
And plus, he used to move his hands.
Adjusting.
Oh, yeah.
He used to move his hands, and I'd be like, baby, they gonna think we are. And he like, no, but you know what? You know, yogurt is different from ice cream. I'm like, put your hands down.
That's how we are in New York. We move our hands. That's how we explain.
He's like, what are you trying to say, though? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? They watching. They're like, we gonna be on the tabloids. Be like, they was arguing. He's like, but don't you think? I'm like,
So, little do you know that I'm holding my hands underneath the table just so I don't move my hands. I'm holding them. So I don't use my hands at all. I'm holding them down here.
You're doing good. I never would have known. See, you did great. Well, y'all, I want to thank y'all so much for coming on. But is there anything that I didn't ask that you want to put out there that people need to know, or just stay tuned for, because we still have a lot of season to go?
I would say, I think that from my point of view, watching it, I just think that more people need to protect Black women. I think there was a time and a space where we could have shut this down, but they didn't. And I think that it's a bigger storyline that we have a strong Black woman who's a business owner that represents the community, that has a Black child raising a strong Black man here. And no one has stepped up still to this day to just speak on the topic. I think that it's sad because we're here bashing a Black woman, but don't understand the full story. And to me, it's very sad that there needs to be more protection towards Black women, to me. And I haven't seen that in this case at all. Wow.
That speaks a lot without saying a lot, and that makes me can't wait to see what is yet to come. Well, I hope when this whole entire season is over, I would love for y'all to come back and talk with me again. I enjoyed y'all so very much, and it was such a joy to meet you, darling.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
And Carmen, you keep doing your thing. You are doing great on Fox 5. You are doing your thing. Please let everyone know where we can follow and reach you and see what you've got going on, you and Ray. Because I don't even follow you, Ray. And I don't know if you want your business out there. So I'll be up to you.
I am at Felder.Carmen on IG and Carmen Felder on Facebook. I'm sure y'all already looking. You know what I'm saying? I've been with Owen for a couple of years now. Been doing stuff with Fox for over a year now, and then Bravo, they like me. I guess I'm just good TV.
You are definitely good TV. Why is that? You just that girl. You have an aura. You just have an aura. And I swear, when I get myself to DC, I will be hitting you up.
Definitely. We'll get in trouble together, right?
Yes, lots and lots of trouble. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Will you two enjoy the rest of your evening? Thank you so much for talking with me tonight, and I will see y'all around very soon.
Yes, you have a blessed night.
Have a good one.
You too. Goodbye.
Bye.
There y'all have it, y'all. Carmen Felder and her boyfriend Ray. He's a cutie, ain't he? A Jamaican, good with the kids. He don't came all the way to move with her. He's real, y'all. He exists. He's been there from the beginning. Clifton knows him. Joy knows him. Irena knows he exists. Jamie knows he exists. So why does he not exist on the show? I just need to know, honey. That's all I want to know. And I hope we find out soon, but we will have to wait and see. So you can catch Love and Marriage DC Saturday nights on OWN Network at 8/7 Central. and you can catch Carmen's name and maybe her face a couple of times throughout this season, but we know it's not over. Carmen and Ray, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all tonight with Dina as we do Sons of Anarchy recap. This is the last before the last. I'll see y'all tonight.